This is Professor Homa. Welcome to part 3. This should be the last part of our WD-01 software extensions exercise. And it looks like I have a lot to do here, but I really don't. We're actually up to step 9 on the sheet. And part of this is we're going to do some of the repeating formatting that we already did. We did the hardest part. We set a tab here at 5 inches. We indented this text right here at 1/4 inch. And then we also added a leader to the tab just for those particular items. And a lot of this document, if I go back here, you can see it's just repeating. These are set up the same way under these little general formats, are set up the same way as these. So that'll be the same formatting. These general formats in the sections that have, they don't all have general formats. Database, presentation, desktop publishing, they don't have general format section. Some of them do. And this goes on to a second page. But you'll see that once you do this first part, you'll be able to move through this very fast. So number 9 on here is the general formats, and this is really it's just a little variation of this top one. And I'm going to make this bold, and I'm going to add a space before. If you remember how to do that, you go to the paragraph dialog box launcher, you go to spacing before, and I'm going to just click up, and it goes in increments of 6, and I'm only going to use 6 for that one. The other one I used 12. Okay, so it's not as far, so it's kind of indicating that it's a sub category or like a subheading, and also it's going to indent and be in the same indentation as all the others that it aligns with. So it's not out on the margin. It's not as important as this. It's kind of a subheading, but we are making it bold. Okay, and the only other thing I have to do with that is give it a 0.25 inch indent, and we mentioned you can do an indent up here. You could go up here and put 0.25 in here to indent it from the left, and I'll cancel out of here. Or if you want to try moving this thing, and this sometimes is a little hard, if you grab this little bottom part and move it over just 2 ticks, and even if you're not sure what those increments are, as long as it lines up there, that's where you want it. So again, the paragraph formatting we did here is we indented it, and we did a space before of 6 point. That's paragraph formatting. Making it bold is character formatting. Okay, these things down here, and you could do this part just to kind of practice, even though we're going to use Format Painter, but I'll do this just to practice again, just to show this. Okay, we indent it because it indents like the others, and then to add your leader, you could go to your paragraph dialog box launcher and edit tabs, or you could double click over here to edit tabs, and you just select your tab, and you go down here to leader, and you select the leader, and you hit OK. And that's done. Now we have all this other stuff to do, and it looks like it would take hours, but I'm going to show you something that'll make it faster. Now for our second exercise, we're going to use styles, but before we use styles, we use something that's just a little more basic, and this is on Mac and Windows versions. It's in little different places, but looking at our sample here, the next part of it is spreadsheet software. You can see it has a heading, it has the items for the software underneath, it has this general formats heading or subheading, and then it has just one item under here. So that's what's coming up next on here. Now instead of doing this stuff all over again, and you certainly can, if you want to practice this, you can certainly do them all by hand and get a lot of practice if you like that kind of repetitive kind of reinforcement. But if you want to get this thing done real quick, you can go up here and highlight this paragraph, because this one is going to be formatted. This is formatted the way these other ones are going to be formatted. You could highlight this paragraph, click once on the Format Painter. Watch how easy this is. And then you just highlight the paragraph that you want to apply it to. Done. It did the space before, it made it bold, it even set the tab for you. Okay, and now for this part, if you went here and highlighted any one of these or all of them, and you did Format Painter, you're going to highlight the stuff that you want applied. And I'm going to do it right before general formats, and if I leave go, it takes that formatting. Again, just to keep repeating this, you select the formatting that you want. Remember, this one has 6 point space before, it's bold, it has a tab, and it doesn't have a leader. I hit the Format Painter, and then I go down here and I just highlight what I want, and it applies that. Same thing up here. Again, I could just select one line here, Format Painter, and you can see I could even click on it, it'll apply. You don't even have to highlight it. Okay, and you could go back, you could go through and just do all that. There is a way you can do all of them, if you wanted to do all your headings at once, you could do this. You can click here, double click Format Painter, and then as you go down, you have to make sure you find the right ones. You'd have to find presentation software, desktop publishing software, graphics software. Let me see, I have to check here. After graphics software, it's just called web, and then audio, video, and computer files. So there's just web, audio, video, and computer files. So it did a whole bunch by double clicking on the Format Painter if you wanted to do all those at once. Same thing here. If I wanted to highlight this, okay, let me undo that now. I guess I have to like start over. I'm going to highlight this, click Format Painter, and then I'm going to highlight this stuff here. And I only did that once, so I can't apply this to these. It's not going to do anything to that. Again, this one here, and you know, maybe it's easier to do it one at a time. I'll do that here, Format Painter, and I forgot this one, so I'll throw that one in there. These will all get this formatting, so I'll highlight that. I'll select Format Painter, and I'll apply that. Okay, now if I'm going to do a lot like that, I can highlight this again, any one of these, double click on Format Painter, and go through and apply that, apply that, apply these, apply all these, apply all these, apply all these. Okay, and I think I just missed, the only thing I don't have is a general formats one here, and I'll just double click in one that's already there to kind of exit out of here. Okay, now I'm going to go here to my general formats, and see, it put that in. I guess I have to exit to get out of there. Put that in, or if you hit undo, it'll kind of exit out of that as well. But you may have to hit exit to get out of there. And so now with this highlighted, I'll hit Format Painter, and I'll find any last ones in that general formats, and I'm done. Okay, and that's it. Okay, now when you're done with this file, what you're going to do is you're going to save as, and you're going to save it. It's coming up as plain text. Make sure you save it as a Word file, and you can just do it Word document. A lot of these I save down in case you have older formats, but you could just save it as Word doc, which will put the docx on it. Okay, and just save this as WD01 software, just like the other one, software extensions. And then you're going to put your last name, and I'll put my last name, R, and that's all you need. You don't have to put the doc, it'll do it for you, and then you're just going to save that. So you're going to call it WD01 software extensions, your last name, first initial, and hit save, and then you're done. Okay, and then you just have to email that to me, and I'll make sure everything's okay. If I have any problems or I see any problems, I'll let you know, and I'll give you some opportunity to fix that. But I hope this video helps out a little bit. I know the Format Painter thing may be a little new for you, but just try it out.